New home construction is headed for serious trouble in Ontario. I suspect other places in Canada, not so much Alberta. I think Alberta's got a pretty good idea of what to do. They don't have the super high development charges. They seem to be doing fine. But in Ontario, I can guarantee you that new home construction is in trouble. New starts are falling. I've been talked about this before. It's getting worse. CMHC's recognized it. Other reports are recognizing it. That we're just new home starts are just dragging. And also remember, in Ontario, particularly in the GTA, 80% of new home starts are condos. That's where 80% of people live now in the GTA in terms of new construction. It shouldn't be that way. That's another topic, but that's another video, another day. But yes, it's serious as can be. Okay, it's falling. I get comments from people online that, oh, well, I've been doing construction for 34 years. I've been a subtrade for 34 years. It's as slow as I've ever seen it. Okay, like workers are not working. Okay, why? Easy. Screwed up. Like it's screwed up. Like they finally destroyed the business. The huge government costs where 30% of every new condo, every new home, 30% somehow goes out to development fees, other levies, taxes, this tax, that tax, you name it. Like, and hugely slow and incompetent permits, incompetent inspection, like backed up 22 months. Like that's never changed. Nothing's gotten better. By the way, yeah, construction's slower. It still takes forever to get a permit. What's going on here? Oh, and then there's the financing. The prime rate is still where it was. Nothing's happened to prime. Some fixed rates have come down, but not prime rate, not the kind of variable rate, prime rate based stuff that, or HELOC, or sorry, line of credit based stuff that works is how construction's financed. That's not down. Still 7.2, hasn't changed. That's up 225% from where it was a couple of years ago. We've had falling construction starts. The peak year was 2021 in Ontario. Peak year in Canada, for that matter, okay? Falling ever since. If it wasn't for new home starts in Alberta, like, people would be just going nuts about how bad the construction is, okay? Like, and it's all those things. It's the fact that land costs are too high in Ontario and British Columbia. Land-based land costs are way too high. That's been building for years, and it worked out because with interest rates at like 1.5 or 199, people were still buying higher and higher priced condos, higher and higher priced houses. Now it's all going to rat shit. Like it's just going down. Like there's endless appraisal problems on low rise. By next year, there'll be tons of appraisal problems on high rise, on the condo towers, because it takes 5 to 6 years for a big condo building to be finished. So, you know, you basically stuff that started like 6 years ago, 5 years ago, is just that's finishing now. That's a lower price. But as we move into next year, those were still higher prices because they just kept increasing the new price. And now it's going to hit a wall. But developers are opening new home sales offices for condos, and there's no sales. There's like 20%, 12%, 18%, you name it, because of all these high costs have finally coalesced. Super high government charges, super high taxes, high interest rates, and high construction costs. Construction costs have come off a little in the last 6 months. There's some light at the end of the tunnel there, but not enough. Not enough. And here's the other thing. You might hear about, oh, no, but I hear that they're building. I hear that there's, and never be fooled by cranes in the air. Cranes in the air in the GTA, Western Ontario. Any crane you see in the air, that project started, that was committed for years ago. That crane's still up there. But here's the thing. You can't start if there's nobody to buy. And sure, you could open a new area, a new development, and people for single family or for townhouses, and you'll probably get some buyers. But the prices are so high, you're worried, will it appraise? Because some of the other prices have come way down. Like we see people who bought 18 months, 2 years ago, who come for appraisal now on a home or a townhome, like a single detached or townhome. They're not appraising. There's story after story after story about people who bought for 1.8 million. It's appraising for like 1.4, 1.5. They can't close, or they're just scrambling, or it's crazy town. We hear these things. We see these things in our own business constantly. Big problems, okay? So if you're a developer, even for low rise, you're saying, well, if I got to price it at this, how do I know the guy's going to be able to close? I mean, seriously, some of these people are buying on spec. They're trying to tighten that up, but it's not easy. So what's it mean for the future? And this is why it's so serious. If we're bringing in 1 million people a year just into Canada, and 500,000 of them are going to Ontario, or we're bringing in 1 million too, or we're bringing in tons of new Canadians, or international students, or temporary workers, but tons of them, majority close to it, even though it's a big country, just a lot of them coming to Ontario, and Ontario construction is suffering. We're not starting new homes. We're not starting new condo towers. What the hell's going to happen? I mean, this housing situation is going to get worse and worse. Wake up, government. Yeah, some purpose-built rentals, great. Some subsidized housing, great. But if there's no houses or condos to actually buy, won't it just get worse and worse in the coming years? Got to get on this thing. There's got to be some fixes.